What's up, guys? So, here I am doing an analysis of my third Katarina montage. I did an analysis of my fourth Katarina montage, and it got a lot of good feedback. So, I'm here to do another one, and I hope you guys enjoy it and learn something from it. So, here we go. Okay, so here, I got ulted by Fizz. So, immediately what goes through my mind is I need something to jump to so I can avoid his damage. So here I place a W, and the moment Fizz like ease onto me, I decided to Shimpo to try to like avoid any autos or any more damage while the shark is coming up. So notice that he doesn't get any damage off like while the shark is like knocking me up, and I throw a Q at the scuttle crab, trying to place more daggers to see what I can work with. The scuttle actually gets pushed by the fish, and that was really lucky for me because the dagger actually ended up jumping farther. So as soon as Fizz E'd, I had to dodge his E. That would have immediately killed me. So I flashed onto the dagger, flashed onto the Q dagger, and I Gunblade. Notice that I don't Shimpo onto him or anything because I don't want to take initial damage from him. If I Shimpo onto him, I'm challenging his damage and trying to outdamage him. But notice that I Gunblade to try to like keep my distance, slow him, and just ulti. And here he decides not to like pursue me and just runs away, trying to get out safely. But I actually ended up having Shimpo, jumped onto him, and ran. So here is actually an interesting play. You see Zed jumping on the back line, and you see his two shadows here. This is his W shadow, and this is his ulti shadow. So what I do is actually place my W on the ulti shadow, knowing that he's gonna jump back. And I wasn't even looking at him too. Like I was just sure that he wasn't gonna kill anyone. So I W'd at his weight. Notice that I'm not even looking. So he decides to go back, and as soon as he goes back, I Shimpo onto it, Q, and then Shimpo onto the Q, and then I immediately jump on Ezreal with my E to throw out a combo, EWQ ulti. The dagger actually ends up jumping near him, and I kill him. Okay, so here I'm trying to deal damage to Fiora with my Q and W, but I actually end up missing both. So if you saw here, I tried to shave her with the W, but the Q, but it didn't work out. And then I tried to shave her with that one, but it didn't work out again. So that's when Fiora decides to all-in me. I didn't really have a choice here. So, like, I mean, I could have Shimpo'd out, but I chose to stuck it out because I had Ignite and ulti, and I just threw everything. And she hit me with two autos, but the moment she gets hit by that third tower shot, she was potentially dead. And she would have had traded 1-for-1, but she wanted to just kill me flat out. So she decided to back out. I ended up Shimpoing in, auto, and then flash so I can avoid her. You see how she looks back? That means she was trying to auto me because she clicked. She right clicked there. And then I flashed that, and then I threw my Q just to kill her, and yeah. So here, I know this was a really pretty stupid Baron call. Kha'Zix is low, so I jumped on Twitch to get into range of Gunblade, and I did, and I pretty much kill him. I WQ immediately. I don't Shimpo because Twitch was already like right next to me, so I just throw out all my burst, kill him immediately, jump on the Twitch and just pick up the dagger here, and then I throw a W just to like run away, but at the same time it's still a place for me to jump. And if Riven commits too hard here, I could jump back. So if you see here, Riven doesn't look back. She wants to go in. So I immediately just Shimpo'd onto it, and she actually ends up flashing, and she misses. Didn't have to pick up that dagger, but I jumped on Zyra, and she ends up dying. So here, it's double lift on Lee Sin. And I'm trying to run away, or I try to walk this way, but he cuts my path and W's. And actually slows me. One thing that pro players do a lot is they're very patient with their Q. If they don't think they have anywhere to go, then they kind of like So what Doublelift did was he slowed me to try to like bait out my Shunpo or something and then Q me afterwards. So what I did here was I W'd and I tried to just avoid damage, but at the same time set a dagger at the same time. And I ended up, if you see my mouse, my cursor is right here. I'm at the very edge of my W. And I Shunpo onto it. Because the reason why I threw the Shunpo right on the edge is because I want to stay as close to the minions as possible, because so he doesn't Q me. The only reason why, or the only thing that I'm trying to look out for when Lee Sin ganks me is not get hit by his Q. So I tried my best not to get hit by that Q, and it succeeded, because Lee Sin or Doublelift ended up throwing the Q like a little bit left. But I Shunpo'd onto the edge and I tried to move this way. He had to hit like a very like small section over here, but even so it could have hit the minions, so he had to aim it here hoping that I'd be over there, but I actually wasn't. So I threw my Q, he actually runs away to it, and I jump on the dagger and I ulti and I ignite and I kill him. Then I see Nautilus coming. I didn't think he was gonna ulti, so I just kind of stayed. He hooks me in, I W'd. W wasn't really necessary because I already had my Shunpo, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to place myself around here so that I could throw my Q dagger here and jump to it. So that's exactly what I did. If you see, like, I just start walking this way, and it, you know, looks like I'm gonna die. But I throw my Q, I just kite, and then as soon as my Q, or as soon as, no, my Shunpo's already up, so pretty much I just Shunpo to the Q as soon as it landed. They could have landed on the dagger sooner, but it's fine. Okay, so here was a pretty crazy level 3 fight. Ryze actually ends up TPing mid, I think. And the jungler ganks. And Lee Sin comes, so it's a 3v3 mid because Lissandra also decides to come here. You see here, I ignited the Ivern to try to kill him first. And he had to flash out because of it. And then Ryze flashes in for a Q auto, and I end up getting it. So I end up having double buffs. So because I have that burn from red buff, I go in to try to deal damage to Diana, but she didn't really take much damage, and I avoided like one tower aggro, or W to avoid tower aggro and put myself in a safer position. And then as soon as I don't know what Lissandra's doing here, but she's trying to walk up and trying to kill Lee Sin or something. But I know I have red buff, so I just try to auto her and just burn her. The moment Lee Sin hits the Q and Q's in, I Shunpo in with him. And so, like, if you pretty much add up your damage together and throw it out in a short time, it's harder for them to react. And Liz has flash. So as soon as Lee Sin Q'd in, I also eat in at the same time to try to burst her as fast as possible. And I ended up getting an auto after she flashes. So that's good. That's good. That means that I E'd and I autoed and I didn't press anything else. I didn't click anything else. And that's why the auto went off. And then I jump onto Diana right afterwards. E, W, Q. Weave out to not take any more tower aggro, but still pick up the W dagger. And then flash, E, get health from dangerous game, E out, and W so that I don't take another tower shot. So yeah, it was pretty well played. Okay, so here I see Riven and Lee Sin like committing to the Scion. Scion charges his Q, and he knocks people up, and my Q ends up landing near them. So this allows me to go in. I end up getting stunned and Janna ulted or whatever. I wanted to jump on Lee Sin immediately, but I was stunned for way too long. And then I E'd out W to get the reset. The W reset. Q'd them to try to re-engage. Pick up my W dagger, get Shunpo, and you see the daggers are right next to them. So I jump. I noticed that this is a pretty dangerous position for me. So, because I have to wait a little bit for my Shunpo to come out, so I might take like another tower shot, if anything. So my Shunpo came up, I jumped onto Janna, and I wanted to avoid tower aggro. So I flashed to avoid tower aggro, and fortunately Janna actually flashed before, and you know I was able to chase her because of the flash. So I ulted, and then as soon as Riven jumped onto me, I EW Q'd, and pretty much got my full burst off or full combo off while I was knocked up. So I did that pretty fast. Okay, so here's an interesting one. I'm low, and my eyes are set to just kill any of them that just overextend. So Karma just gets way too close here, trying to help out, you know, here. But Blitz was doing a good job keeping them occupied, so I jumped on Karma. I killed her with the EQ, but notice how my W is still there. I got the reset with the EQ, and I didn't need the W damage, W dagger here to get the reset. So I ended up jumping onto the Q dagger, leaving the W dagger there. When Riven commits on me, I jump back to the W dagger, and I jump onto the Draven right afterwards. So that play wouldn't have happened if I picked up that W dagger and thinking that I had it, or thinking that I didn't have the Shumpo reset already. But just know that when you pick up a kill, your whole rotation comes back up again, so just keep that in mind. You can do some tricky stuff with that. So Alawi gets kind of close, and she ends up getting engaged on, but the thing is I put my W down to see like if anyone would walk towards it, and it ended up being Ezreal. So the moment he walked up, I ulted, and I kind of fucked up here. This play was actually a whole like shitfest because I jumped on Graves too soon, not killing Ezreal. And then, so that forced me to pretty much jump on Ezreal afterwards. I double Shumpo'd onto the minion. So I didn't have Shumpo, so I needed W, Q. I Shumpo'd. No, I picked it up and I got the Shumpo reset. Hit LeBlanc here, and I double Shumpo'd again. So pretty much I just wasted 2 Shumpos. There's this whole combo, but I Zanya's, and I was able to get out, which was weird. But it looked kind of cool. So here, Fizz is actually ganking from down here, or from up there, and he lands the fish. Zed, I know Zed wants to run up this way, right? Because that's where safety is for him. That's like his side of the map. So I immediately saw this and knew that he wanted to W out, because if he gets hit by the Fizz knockup, then Fizz can immediately just jump on him, and he wouldn't have time to do anything. So I knew that was coming, so I just waited over the wall. I W'd, and I walked. If you see that, I walked back to it, and I knew he was gonna jump over, and I just ulted flat out, and then I QE'd and I killed him. Okay, so here's the Reddit play. So here, what's going through my mind? So I know Ori ulted. I'm not sure about the Janna. I think I went in anyway. And so I see Trist is low, so I jump to one of these minions, and you know, do that whole pick combo where I jump to a minion, Gunblade, W, and Q. So I do that to Trist, and she's kind of forced to stay because the Daggo's right there, and they just wanted to kill me as fast as possible. But I got the Shumpo off, killed Trist, and I immediately threw out my combo, EWQ onto Ori, but I got kicked. So let's look at the 2 dagger placements. So I have flash, and I want to get a Shumpo reset pretty badly. I'm not gonna flash here because then I'm gonna die because I'd be too close to 2 people. So I actually flash here. Flash here. I have the Shumpo reset right now. But she ends up flashing and she ends up dying to me somehow. I'm not 100% sure what, but she ends up dying to me, and I killed her. Right? Could have been red buff or something, but wait, was it red buff? It actually was red buff. So red buff gets her, and I flash onto this at an ulti trying to get Ori, but she flashes out. Luckily, I got the reset anyway, thanks to red buff, and I immediately Shumpo'd onto Lee Sin when I got the Shumpo reset. Not exactly the kill reset, but the Shumpo reset. Jumped onto him. Was actually jumped twice because as soon as I Shumpo'd onto him and I got the Ori reset, I ended up Shumping onto him again. It was an accident, but it ended up working out. I W'd, waited for the W to come down, and I believe I Q'd Janna, and I picked up the dagger that was over here that was placed in the very beginning. So if you see here, there's the 2 daggers here. I picked up this one. I threw a W here, and I picked up that dagger that was placed like in the very beginning. Well, not in the very beginning, but after I killed Trist. So yeah, that was a pretty high paced, like high pressure quadra kill, and that was pretty cool. So here I have a pretty tanky build, and I'm probably pretty sure I could kill Victor, and I had GA2, so I just fucking went for it. EW Q'd. I could have hit him with the W dagger, but I moved weird. Hit him with the Q dagger, and I ulted. Here I wanted to E to dodge the second Q part of Victor, but I ended up not, or E I mean. But I ended up not, and I got hit by the very start of the edge anyway, and I just barely mistimed it. But the thing is, like, I think I timed it well. It's just I didn't take into account the cast time for the Shunpo. So yeah, I got hit by that anyway, but that auto killed Victor, and then as soon as I saw Bard, I EW Q'd and I killed him too. Okay, here is a very interesting combo. So if you see, like, I was just sitting in this bush, and I saw 3 people come right at me, and I saw Jarvan over here. Jarvan's like below me. So as soon as they came in, I threw my Q at Jace, and it ended up jumping right here, which is perfect. And I threw my W just to kite so that they didn't initially jump on me, and they lost vision of me, so they had to run at this point, right? So basically, I just look at these as like 2 portals to jump to that deals damage around them, and because I set it up like this, I was able to double jump like here and then here right afterwards, and you can see the burst was pretty insane. So I jumped to this one, got the Shunpo reset, and then I jumped to that one, and I just like bursted them out completely. It's pretty insane. And that play was pretty possible just because, like, I didn't Shunpo early. Like, I QE'd, no, I Q'd, and then I W'd out this way. So I still had my Shunpo. So I pretty much made like a way to just jump, and get onto the back line. And Jace actually flashed, so I was able to kill him right afterwards. Okay, so here's the Shaco. I saw him splitting, so I decided to jump on him with Gunblade. I EW Q'd. He got really low, and he decided to Q out. So I have to pretty much use my Shunpo to cover options, right? So I first cover this option here, around here, because potentially he could be around here, but the reason why I want to jump on this dagger first is because if I jumped anywhere else, I wouldn't get the Q reset, or the E reset. So I jump on that dagger, and I start spamming R, and you can see here, it says that ability is not ready yet. So I'm trying to find this guy, because R still activates when they're invisible, and I couldn't reach him from there apparently, so I had to pick between, you know, maybe here or here. So I decided to choose here because that's closer to where Shaco's base, you know. It's like his side of the map over here. So I E'd there instead, and I ulted, and I actually found Shaco there, and I killed him. And I think Raleigh slowed him enough to where, like, I did enough damage to him. Okay, so here's an interesting play. I got caught here or something, and I ended up Zanyazing. I Shunpo'd onto Lucian to try to, like, get away, because it's farthest from everyone. Everyone else was dangerous, and Lucian was pretty low, so I think he was the best person to jump on. I jump on Lucian, I ulted, and I flashed to try to get away from everyone else. And if you see, Lucian's low, so, you know, if I throw my Q, it's gonna bounce and kill him, so that's what I did. And then if you see the way I move here, I move left and I make a sharp turn right with W, and that ended up dodging the Jace Q, and I was able to re-engage because he walked too close to it. And then here I Shunpo'd. If you see the Q I threw on Jace, it actually landed over the wall, and then I double Shunpo'd onto this edge by accident. I W'd and I ulted to get the reset, and I Shunpo'd out with the Q dagger. So that was just good placement. See here, the biggest spell I was worried about is Annie-bot's ulti. She ends up flashing into the backline and gets both of them, but that just lets me go in. So I went in because I know she can't really stop me. I Q W'd, Shen taunts her, and I was able to kill her jumping on that dagger. And then I jump on Lee Sin right after. Notice that he's walking this way, so my WQ actually ends up like setting up like this. So my Q is over around here. So I jump to that, and then this basically allows me to jump on Ezreal. And right after, I know Riven wants to jump on the backline here, so I jumped on their backline. See, Riven's still going. So I jumped on Ezreal and Brand. I EWQ, and I went to go pick up that dagger, and luckily I did, because I fucking clicked on the minimap, and look how fucking confused I look. And so that happens for a second, but that actually didn't matter because thankfully I jumped on the dagger already, and my Shunpo isn't up yet, so I couldn't really do anything. So that worked out, and as soon as my Shunpo came up, I eat onto Brand, dodged the W, and dodged the Ez ulti. And I start autoing, and I know he's one auto away, but I didn't wait to flash until my auto attack animation was like back up. So I waited till my auto like came up again, and then I flashed, dodging the Brand Q, auto, and then I Shunpo'd behind Ezreal, and I Q'd, and I also dodged the Ezreal Q at the same time. So yeah, that was just a very fortunate play. Somewhat calculated, but at the same time, like, if you play like things more patient and you don't just try to like assume they're just gonna hit you with everything, then more or less like you can outplay skills, you can dodge stuff. Like, I guess I was just a little more patient in this play to where, and I kept my composure to where like it ended up working out. So that was actually a pretty sick play. So yeah, that was my analysis for Katarina Montage 3. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned a lot from it, because I've been getting a lot of good feedback saying my montage analysis has been, you know, changing the way people have been playing, and you know, they start to understand things a little more, the potential of what Katarina can do. So I really hope this helps you out as well. And for the people that did find the the other analysis useful, I hope you find this one useful as well. So overall, I hope you guys take all this analysis in and hopefully apply it into your gameplay. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.